What's up, YouTube? I got a yo-yo review to do today. See, you guys probably didn't think you were going to get one. This is the Tarus by YoYoEmpire. This is a Toybania exclusive. Alright, so let's talk about the YoYoEmpire Tarus. This is the prototype. This is version 1. You can still get these. Some have gone out in mystery boxes. There's probably about 5 left of the first sort of V1 prototype run. You can get them at Toybania. There's a link down in the description. But let's talk about it. About 45 bucks. So let's talk about the yo-yo. So they didn't release the specs on it because they're not done with it. They wanted them to stay a mystery, as per Mr. Vivek at Toybania. But I'll give you general specs. It's about 52 millimeters in diameter. It's about 44 millimeters wide. I would say it weighs in right around 65 grams as well, maybe a hair lighter. It's clearly a very wide H shape, and just kind of compare it here to the Hot Diggity. As you can see, Hot Diggity's got a bigger diameter, but this is slightly wider than the Hot Diggity. Weight's pretty close. I would say this is just maybe a hair lighter than the Hot Diggity, just in my hands here. Hold on. Maybe just a hair lighter, not terribly much. Pretty close. Hot Diggity is about 65.5 grams, so I'm going to say this is right around 65 grams as far as that's concerned. Very powerful yo-yo, as you can see. Lots and lots of rim weight. Rather small diameter, but also a wide yo-yo. Talked with Vivek. He was telling me, well, you know, it's a little tiltier than I want it to be. I don't experience so much of that per se, but it has a ton of rim weight. You do feel a ton of power with this yo-yo. And I think if he thinks it feels a little tilty, I think a slightly bigger diameter would help that, but I'm not really having that problem. I find that the yo-yos that are shaped like this can be a little bit tilty, and I think that the Duncan Roadrunner is a little bit tilty, but I think this stays on plane pretty well. It's a little wide, so if you're kind of going a little crazy, if it starts to tilt, it's got a lot of rim weight, so it's going to go, but if you're not a player that struggles with that type of stuff too much, you're not really going to have much of a problem. Not so much self-correcting. It's not going to self-correct if it starts to go one way or the other, but I didn't find much problems with it in that regard. Cup's pretty deep there. You can get a finger spin around that little nipple there. I kind of like it. I love this brown, by the way. Brown yo-yos are awesome, and if people are going to do prototypes in brown and send them to me, or just any yo-yos in brown and send them to me, I'm going to be a fan of that. And I like this one. It looks good. This is a good color brown. It's like a copperish brown, a little bit, kind of a darker copper. I like it. I like it a lot. So, cool colorway. Shout out to Vivek at Toybania for letting me check this bad boy out. But I really like the blast finish on it. Feels very nice and smooth. And overall, just a cool yo-yo. And at 45 bucks, you know, fits right into. I'd say it lines right up perfectly as far as price is concerned. Cool yo-yo in that regard. Let's go ahead and throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Show you what it can do. All right, we are back with the Tarus from Toybania. So you see Christmas tree kind of playing in a weird area, but anyway. First thing you will feel is the power from the Tarus. H-shaped yo-yos have a lot of power, a lot of spin time, and this has that. Very long spinning, comes off the string very nice. I'm not having any tiltiness problems, truth be told. I have had none. Some people tend to say yo-yos that are like sort of smaller in diameter and have a lot of rim weight, especially like monometals are tilty. I don't think this one's tilty. Not as bad as some others though. This is just a prototype. Tends to like work itself out if you like move it quickly. The response is okay. It's got that YoYoEmpire, those white pads. Handle going fast. Does tilt a little bit, I guess, if you move pretty fast with it, but I don't feel like I'm losing spin or anything, and I'm not having terrible trouble getting it back on point. Binds are okay. I was kind of worried about how powerful this was with those white pads. I thought it might be a little bit slippy, but whatever the gap size is, it just works. It works with these pads. It works. It works good. Grinds, very good. Nice finish for that. Lots of power on the rims for grinds, so you get nice long spins. Great grinding yo-yo. Great. Couldn't be better in that regard. A little wide for like your kind of techier stuff, but it's not too wide. It's like a pretty good wide. I think if they increased the, not necessarily added rim weight, maybe made the diameter just a little bigger, that might fix some of the problems that he's having with it, or some of the, you might make it from where it's like just okay as far as Vivek is concerned to great. And I think it's pretty good as it is. I've carried it a little bit and put it through its paces, and no real issues. You definitely finger spin around the nipple there. Finger spin's real nice, but with the thickness of this string that I have on it, I'm having trouble with the laceration bind, just because of the pads. Now, pads are sort of like a personal preference thing. If you think the pads need to be grippier for the types of tricks and binds that you're doing, you can always switch the pads out to something grippier, or just silicone it. I'll probably just silicone this one because I think that'll make it just right. But you know, to each his own. If you like really fat string, these pads are going to be really good for you because they're not grippy at all. And grippy pads they can really ruin a yo-yo. So that's and they're not slippy either. They're just not as grippy as you would need for like sort of riskier binds or like laceration binds and stuff. That's sort of my only, not a complaint, but I mean, you gotta set up things to play the way you want them to play, basically, is what I'm getting at. But no real problems with binds, just sort of the riskier ones don't necessarily like to catch. Finger spins are good, like I showed you. Grinds are good. This is a pretty smooth yo-yo too. I mean, there's virtually no vibe at all. It's very smooth. No fingernail vibe, no nothing. Very smooth yo-yo. 45 bucks is pretty freaking smooth. A lot smoother than a lot of $45 yo-yos. Put it in that sense. I love the brown. This is the only color that's available right now because it's prototype run. So there's 5 of these left if you want to check them out. Can't go wrong with the price. Stable, long spinning. Comes off the string nice too. Nothing's catching. Nothing feels like it's dragging. Like sometimes you get points in there. Like everything's rounded over and designed very well. So kudos to them for that. Bearing's nice and quiet. Spins a long time. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. For 45 bucks. I don't think. I think it's a good buy. It's a solid yo-yo, 45 bucks. If you like H-shaped yo-yos, but you wish you had a little wider one, like hard H's, this is the one. This is kind of unique in that regard. Usually H yo-yos don't get this wide. They're usually a little bigger in diameter and a little more narrow, but this is nice and wide. They went for it, and kudos to them because I think they came out with a good yo-yo, and I think whatever tweaks they do to it will just make it even better. So solid start, solid proto. There's 5 of these left. You may want to check it out because I mean, look at this brown. How cool is this? It's like chocolate. Chocolate. It's delicious. Let's go back, throw it on the desk, take it apart. We'll do pros and cons. All right, we are back on the desk with the Tarus from Toybania. Let's take this bad boy apart. A little squeaky, but otherwise after that comes apart very nicely. Nice long axle, tight at the end, but long enough. You're not gonna strip this yet. You put it that way. This is a solid like everyday carry yo-yo. Very long. You're gonna be able to learn tricks with this thing. Concave bearing, pretty typical for yo-yos machined by YoYoEmpire. They tend to use this concave bearing. Spins a long time, spins quiet. No reason to change that out. Stainless steel axle, relatively long stainless steel axle like that. So I always like that. I'm never afraid to strip a yo-yo with a long axle. Never happened to me. Short axles, I'd strip every one. Long axles, no. So this one would be a great EDC yo-yo. for that. White pads, I think the white pads look really good with this chocolate brown color. So, you know, as far as aesthetics are concerned, they look great. But this is the same typical pads that YoYoEmpire usually sends. Good for all your standard binds, not slippy at all in that regard. If you're a little more into like riskier binds and stuff, I kind of recommend switching pads out or maybe siliconing it. The white pads are pretty low on the grippiness scale, but they don't like add any drag or anything to the string, and they fit in the pad. They fit in there nicely, so no real complaints there. Finish is real nice, feels real good in your hand, grinds really well. I showed you that, and like I said, it came apart real nice, and I think it's the first time I took it apart actually. It came apart real nice, and see how it goes back together. Nice. A little squeaky at the end, a little tight, but it's a super long axle, so I don't think there's going to be any problems with that. Finger spin's very doable there. Thumb grinds, not really so much. There's nothing really to catch your thumb. That's why I didn't do one. There's not really anything to talk about. Lots of rim weight. Let's do pros and cons. So, very powerful. Nice and wide. This is going to be a good yo-yo to learn new tricks on, especially new tricks with like lots of bounces and hops and things. So makes it a very good EDC yo-yo. Take to work, leave it in your desk, whatever. It's only 45 bucks. Great price on this. Dead smooth. Great grind finish. I really like that. I think that's to me that's a big thing. I like how anodized yo-yos feel, especially with a nice like blasted like kind of soft grind finish. I think that this feels great, and I like that a lot. It's blasted all around, so it's even in the cup. So when you do finger spins, no problems there. Just, I mean, overall, it's a very good all-around yo-yo. I would highly recommend it, especially for only 45 bucks. Links are down in the description. You can definitely pick one up. I think there's only 5 of these left. So if you want one, especially in this brown color, usually whatever the prototypes go, they don't ever actually make another in that color. This brown is cool. Big fan of this. If you like this brown, this yo-yo catches your eye, it's definitely a good yo-yo. Nice wide H shape. Not a whole lot of wide, like hard H's like this, and this one really is overall just very, very good. Maybe the only con I could think of is with H yo-yos, they're not always the most interesting yo-yos because they have a lot of rim weight and not a lot of much else. You know, that's what you get into when you're playing an H-shaped yo-yo. But this one's pretty fun and definitely long spinning, super stable. Even though a little tilty, but as far as stability is concerned, it's going to spin a long time and kind of make up for any misgivings you may have while you're doing tricks. Spin long enough to let you kind of correct yourself or go slowly to be able to really nail down those new tricks and work on them. So for that, I'll say it's a good EDC yo-yo as well. No real cons other than that. They are going to do this is the prototype, so as long as all these sell out, which there's only 5 left, I imagine it will, they will do a full run, I'm assuming with splashes and all kinds of other stuff, and I would imagine the full run will probably be an even better yo-yo. So definitely cool to pick one of these up as well, but keep an eye on Toybania because you're maybe going to want the final run once it comes up, once they tweak it a little bit more. So who knows? Who knows where that's going to go, but follow Toybania on Instagram and check them out. Links are down in the description. Shout out to my boy Vivek for sending this one over. Super cool looking yo-yo. Super fun playing. I've been carrying it a lot. Trying to put it through all its paces so that I can give it the best review I can. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe and check the links in the description. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.